Tallboy.
It's the Tallboy experience at the Trumpet Awards, hanging out with the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Mr. Perry Gladstone Christie. How you doing today?
I'm good, happy, and privileged.
What does this mean to have your footsteps paved into the Walk of Fame for the Trumpet Awards?
Well, firstly, it happened in a very historic church, one with great meaning to the Bahamas. I've indicated that the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. has a real history with our country. He came out as early as 1958 to inspire and encourage us to seek freedom in our own country. And we didn't get that until 1967. And that date was so important that my government has just made it a public holiday. And we have argued that arguably it is the most significant day in the calendar of the history of the entire country, because it was the day when the majority people took control of the country. But again, this puts into context the struggle in the Bahamas, the struggle in the United States of America for civil rights, the struggle around the world for civil rights. And to those persons who have preceded me in accepting this honor, I'm in privileged company. The founding father of my own country, Sir Lyndon Pindling, is here. We've had a bishop who is well known in the Atlanta circles for preaching, and now you have myself. And so this is an honor for the country, and truly it gives me a great sense of pride.
What are your thoughts on Miss Clayton?
Well, Xernona Clayton, about 10 years ago, heard my story of being put out of school at the age of 14, being told that I should go to work because there's really no future for me, and that my going on to go to evening classes, passing exams, going to England, studying law, passing law, being called to the bar in England, called to the bar in the Bahamas, becoming Prime Minister of the country, and serving in Parliament now for approaching 40 years consecutively. And so truly she recognized that, and I was the first recipient of the Trumpet Award for overseas, non-American. And so truly she's a great woman with a great sense of history, a great sense of inspiring people to believe that just as my story could be important to some young child who may have not succeeded initially, but could overcome the odds and succeed.
All right, now, speaking of that as a young child, you're the son of a cab driver, you're the youngest prime minister, a young person trying to follow in your footsteps. What advice would you like to leave with them?
But never give up, never give in. And even though you may have had very frustrating moments, and your mom and your daddy, if you have them in your home, your grandmother, frustrating moments in your own education, that never give up, never give in. It's never too late to do good, and it comes sometimes later than others. In my case, I went to university with students who were 3 years younger than me, but I went to university. I succeeded. I came out of university, and the very same people who went to university before me, I now, as Prime Minister, can employ.
My last question I have for you. I do a community initiative in the Atlanta area talking about the importance of hustling the legal way and also networking. So when I speak to kids, I always tell them the importance. Can we get your personal definition of hustle and network?
You know, it's important that we understand that, first of all, in every community, there are examples that we should follow. People who we call exemplars, who set example, who set standards. People whose life story is one of being rejected, one of not succeeding in school, but yet continuing to do what is right, continuing to do things lawfully, continuing to believe in themselves. And the most important thing, never give up believing in yourself. And so that's been my story, my personal story. It's been the story of the people of our country. And never giving up, never giving in, always believing that you can conquer the odds against you. And so you do that recognizing that the more people you are connected to believing in the same thing, the greater are your chances of moving forward. And so that's what networking, and that's what politics at the community level, associations at the community level are all intended to remind each other, right, that we have to do this together, right, and that we are only as strong as our weakest link. And that old adage from time immemorial, work together, work as a team. If you start off with one, let there be right, 2, 5, 10, 20, and you're really headed in the right direction.
How about that? I've been to the Bahamas one time. You guys have conch. Don't forget the rib tips while you're here in Atlanta.
No, I'm not going to forget it. We enjoy Atlanta. My daughter lives here in Atlanta, and so we enjoy it.
It's the Tallboy Experience, hanging out with Prime Minister Christie. Thank you for your time. Think big, think tall, think